The debt collector. The red dust of Proxima B swirled around Commander Maya Chen's boots as she trudged across the settlement's marketplace. 5 years of exile on this harsh mining colony had weathered her face, but not her resolve. Her cybernetic left arm, a souvenir from her final mission with Earth Special Forces, gleamed dully in the crimson light of the distant sun. Maya's retirement hadn't been voluntary. After questioning orders that led to civilian casualties during the Centauri conflict, she'd been given a choice: court-martial or quiet exile. She chose the latter, taking her tactical brilliance and combat skills to the edge of human space where no one asked questions about your past. The settlement's warning klaxons blared suddenly, signaling an unscheduled ship approaching. Maya's hand instinctively moved to the pulse pistol concealed beneath her weathered jacket. Unscheduled visitors on Proxima B typically meant trouble: pirates, bounty hunters, or worse. But the sleek vessel that descended through the dust clouds wasn't human in design. Its crystalline hull refracted the sunlight in prismatic patterns, a telltale signature of Solarian engineering. Maya hadn't seen a Solarian ship in 5 years, not since the peace accord she helped negotiate before her fall from grace. "Impossible," she muttered, watching as the ship settled on a landing pad. The boarding ramp extended, and a tall, slender figure emerged. Even at a distance, Maya recognized the distinctive blue-tinted exoskeleton and the graceful, deliberate movements. Ambassador Xirak, senior diplomatic envoy of the Solarian Confederation. Maya considered running. Nothing good could come from a Solarian ambassador tracking her down on this backwater colony. But she stood her ground, years of military discipline overriding her instinct for self-preservation. "Commander Chen." Xirak's voice carried the characteristic harmonic overtones of the Solarian language. "Even when speaking in human standard, time has not diminished your presence." "It's just Maya now," she replied, studying the ambassador. "And I'm surprised you found me." "Finding you was never difficult," Xirak said, mandibles clicking in what Maya recognized as amusement. "Approaching you without triggering Earth's surveillance was the challenge." The marketplace had emptied, the colonists giving the alien visitor a wide berth. Xenophobia ran deep on frontier worlds. "What do you want, Xirak?" Maya asked bluntly. "You owe me a debt, Commander." The harmonic tones dropped an octave, signaling grave seriousness in Solarian communication. "I have come to collect." Maya's jaw tightened. During the Centauri negotiations, Xirak had saved her life when a terrorist's bomb detonated in the conference hall. The ambassador had shielded her with his own body, suffering severe injuries that would have killed a human. "I remember," Maya said quietly. "But I'm not the same person anymore. I don't have access to Earth Command or diplomatic channels." "I am not here for your connections," Xirak replied. "I am here for you. For the tactician who outmaneuvered the Draxian fleet at Epsilon Indi. For the soldier who infiltrated the impenetrable fortress on Ta City Prime." Maya glanced around the marketplace, increasingly uncomfortable with the public nature of their conversation. "Let's talk somewhere private." In her sparse dwelling on the colony's outskirts, Maya poured 2 drinks, whiskey for herself, a synthesized enzyme solution for the Solarian. Xirak's multiple eyes studied the room, noting the sparse decorations and the weapons strategically placed within reach. "My people are dying," Xirak said without preamble. "Not from war or disease, but from something more insidious, something designed specifically to eradicate us." Maya leaned forward. "Explain." 3 stellar cycles ago, our outermost colonies began reporting mass cellular degradation among our population. The pattern of spread suggested a pathogen, but our scientists found nothing. Then we discovered the truth. Xirak's exoskeleton shimmered with emotion. "Someone has activated an ancient weapon, one that targets specific genetic codes." "A genetic weapon," Maya frowned. "That's outlawed by every civilized species in the galaxy." "This weapon predates those laws by millennia," Xirak replied. "We have traced its source to a region of space forbidden by the Galactic Concord, the Dead Zone." Maya knew of the Dead Zone, a sector of space shrouded in gravitational anomalies and radiation storms. No ship that entered had ever returned. "What does this have to do with me?" she asked, though she already suspected the answer. "The Concord refuses to authorize a mission to the dead zone. Too dangerous, they say, too politically complicated." Xerox's mandibles clicked in frustration. "But you humans have a reputation for attempting the impossible. And you, Commander Chen, specialized in the impossible." Maya laughed bitterly. "I'm a disgraced officer living in exile. Earth Command would never sanction." "We do not seek Earth's permission," Xerox interrupted. "We seek your expertise, your ingenuity, your humanity." Maya stared into her whiskey. "You're asking me to lead an unsanctioned mission into the dead zone to find and disable an ancient weapon that's killing your people?" "Yes." "With what resources? What crew?" "I have secured a vessel, the same one that brought me here, retrofitted with technology that may survive the dead zone's hazards. As for a crew," Xerox paused. "You once told me that the best teams are not those assigned by command, but those chosen by instinct." Maya stood, pacing the small room. Every rational thought told her to refuse. This mission was suicide. And even if it wasn't, success could reignite Earth's interest in her, ending the anonymity of her exile. But the debt remained, and deeper than that, a purpose she'd been lacking for 5 years. "I'll need specific skills," she said finally. "People who won't ask too many questions. People with nothing to lose." Xerox's crystalline exoskeleton brightened, the Solarian equivalent of a smile. "I knew you would not disappoint me, Commander." Over the next week, Maya compiled a list of candidates scattered across human space. People she'd served with, fought alongside, or faced as adversaries. People who operated in the shadows between legality and lawlessness. Dr. Eliza Rice was the first to arrive. A xenobiologist whose controversial research into genetic manipulation had cost her academic standing. Next came Tariq Hassan, a navigation specialist who'd mapped routes through unmapped space that conventional systems declared impossible. Marcus Wilkes joined reluctantly, a former combat engineer whose cybernetic enhancements surpassed military regulations. His history with Maya was complicated. They'd saved each other's lives multiple times before her exile, but his loyalty to Earth Command remained strong. The final addition was unexpected. Zara Karim, a young hacker whose ability to interface with alien technology bordered on the supernatural. Maya had never met her, but Zara's reputation had spread even to Proxima b. "This is your crew?" Xerox asked, studying the 4 humans assembled in the abandoned mining facility Maya had requisitioned for planning. "They don't look like much," Maya admitted, but neither did the team that ended the Centauri conflict. As Maya outlined the mission parameters, she watched her team's reactions carefully. Disbelief gave way to calculation, and finally to determination, the progression she'd seen countless times before impossible missions. "The dead zone isn't just dangerous because of its natural hazards," Maya explained, projecting a holographic map. "It's quarantined for a reason. Ancient records suggest it contained multiple superweapons from a conflict predating all our civilizations. If these weapons are so dangerous, why not just destroy the entire sector?" Marcus asked, his cybernetic eye scanning the holographic display. "The gravitational anomalies make it impossible to deploy long-range weapons," Maya replied, "and anything entering the zone faces the same hazards we will." "Which are?" Zora prompted, her fingers twitching as though already hacking invisible systems. "Spatial distortions that confuse navigation, radiation that corrupts data and damages organic tissue, and if the records are accurate, automated defense systems that attack any approaching vessel." Eliza studied the biological data Xerox had provided. "This weapon is fascinating from a scientific perspective. It's targeting the triple helix structure unique to Solarian DNA, unwinding it systematically." "Can you reverse it?" Maya asked. "Not without understanding its source," Eliza replied. But if we find the weapon, I might be able to deactivate the transmission or create a countermeasure. Maya nodded. Tarek, what's our best approach vector? The navigator manipulated the hologram, highlighting a narrow corridor. The anomalies follow patterns. Not predictable ones, but patterns nonetheless. I've identified a potential route with a 38% chance of successful passage. 38%? Marcus scoffed. Those are suicide odds. Better than the 0% chance the Concorde is giving the Solarians, Maya countered. As the team delved deeper into planning, a notification flashed on Maya's datapad. Earth command vessels had entered the Proxima system. Someone had noticed Sirach's arrival. We're out of time, she announced. Gather what you need. We launch in 30 minutes. They'll try to stop us, Marcus warned. Maya's expression hardened. Let them try. As they boarded Sirach's vessel, Maya felt something she hadn't experienced in 5 years. Purpose. This wasn't just about repaying a debt. It was about proving that humans could still accomplish the impossible when it mattered most. The crystalline ship ascended through Proxima B's atmosphere, accelerating toward the jump point as Earth command vessels appeared on their sensors. Warnings blared through their communication system, ordering them to stand down. Maya ignored them, nodding to Tarek. Plot the jump. As the ship's engines charge, Maya addressed her team one final time. What we're attempting goes against every protocol and regulation. It's dangerous, possibly suicidal, and definitely illegal. If anyone wants out, now's your chance. No one moved. The Concorde abandoned my people to die, Sirach said quietly. Only humanity has answered our call. The jump engines engaged, and Proxima B vanished in a flash of light. Ahead lay the dead zone, and within it, an ancient weapon that threatened to eradicate an entire species. Maya Chen, once commander of Earth's elite forces, now led a different kind of mission. Not for glory or duty or military necessity, but for a simpler reason, because she had given her word. And humans, for all their flaws, kept their promises, against all odds. The crystalline ship emerged from the jump point at the edge of the dead zone. Through the view screen, Maya and her crew faced a vista that few living beings had ever witnessed. Space itself seemed distorted here, light bending in impossible ways around massive gravitational anomalies. In the distance, the remnants of ancient space stations and megastructures floated like skeletons of a forgotten civilization. Sensors are already struggling, Tarek reported, his fingers dancing across the navigation console. Gravitational distortions are interfering with our mapping systems. Switch to manual navigation, Maya ordered. Use the stellar patterns I showed you. The ancients built their weapons to last, but they also built them to be found by those who knew where to look. As the ship cautiously advanced into the forbidden sector, radiation levels began to climb. The crystalline hull, designed by Solarian engineers with technology beyond human understanding, absorbed much of it, but warning indicators still flashed across their displays. Biological contamination protocols engaged, Elisa announced, monitoring the environmental systems. The radiation signatures are unusual, not natural decay. It's almost as if they're designed to trigger specific responses in living tissue. Zara, the young hacker, had interfaced with the ship's systems using her neural implants. Her eyes were closed, but rapid movements beneath her eyelids betrayed intense activity. There's something else out here, she murmured. Something watching us. Maya had expected this. Automated defense systems. The ancients wouldn't leave their superweapons unprotected. Marcus checked the ship's defensive capabilities, his cybernetic eye glowing as it connected with the weapon systems. We have minimal offensive capacity. This vessel was built for diplomacy, not warfare. We're not here to fight, Maya reminded him. We're here to infiltrate and disable. Sirach, who had been silent since their jump, approached the view screen. The weapon's emissions are strongest from that direction, he said, indicating a distant cluster of debris surrounding what appeared to be an artificial planetoid. As they altered course toward the planetoid, The ship's sensors detected movement. From the debris field emerged sleek, predatory vessels, unmistakably automated drones. Their design was unlike anything in known space, with organic curves that suggested they had been grown rather than built. Defense systems activated, Marcus called out. 7. No. 12 interceptors on approach vector. Evasive maneuvers, Maya ordered. Tarek, use the gravitational anomalies to our advantage. Let them do the work for us. The navigator nodded, a grim smile playing across his face. This was why Maya had recruited him, for moments when conventional navigation protocols had to be abandoned in favor of instinct and improvisation. The crystalline ship dove toward a massive gravitational distortion, using its pull to accelerate. The drone interceptors followed, their movements precise and coordinated. But as Tarek navigated the ship through the shifting gravitational landscape, 3 of the pursuing vessels were caught in a sudden intensification of the anomaly, their structures crumpling under forces no material could withstand. 9 remaining, Marcus reported, and they're learning our patterns. Maya studied the tactical display. The drones were indeed adapting, predicting their evasive maneuvers with increasing accuracy. This wasn't simple programming. This was true machine learning, evolving in real time. Zora, Maya called out, can you access their command protocols? The young hacker's eyes remained closed, her neural interface glowing beneath her skin. They're using a quantum encryption I've never seen before. But there's a pattern, a rhythm to their communications. What kind of rhythm? Maya pressed. Mathematical, but with variations, like music with deliberate imperfections. Zora's fingers twitched as though playing an invisible instrument. It's not just code. It's language. Katurok moved closer, mandibles clicking in agitation. The ancients were said to communicate through mathematical constructs. Perhaps these defenses aren't just programmed. They're extensions of their creator's consciousness. Can you speak to them? Maya asked Zora. Not speak, but maybe I can listen. The hacker's neural implants pulsed with increasing intensity. I'm going to try something dangerous. A deep sync with their communication network. Before Maya could object, Zora had established the connection. Her body went rigid, eyes flying open to reveal pupils dilated to pinpoints. For 30 terrifying seconds, she remained locked in this state, then gasped, collapsing forward. Zara. Eliza moved to check her vitals. I'm okay, the hacker whispered. They're not trying to destroy us. They're testing us. As if confirming her words, the drone interceptors suddenly broke off their pursuit, maintaining a distant formation that neither approached nor retreated. Tests? Maya questioned. The ancients built these systems to protect their technology from misuse. Zorat explained, her voice stronger now. But they also built in protocols for worthy successors. The defenses aren't just barriers, they're trials. Maya considered this information carefully. And what do these trials determine? Intelligence, ethics, determination. Zara met Maya's gaze. They want to know if we deserve access to their technology. The ship continued its approach toward the artificial planetoid, now with an escort of drone interceptors rather than pursuers. As they drew closer, details of the structure became visible. A massive installation built into or perhaps grown from an asteroid, covered in intricate patterns that seemed to shift and change as they watched. Life support reads habitable atmosphere inside the structure, Eliza reported, surprised. After all this time, the ancients built to last, Teruk observed. My people have legends of their achievements, creating materials that repair themselves, systems that could run for millennia without maintenance. The ship docked at what appeared to be an entry point, the crystalline hull interfacing seamlessly with the ancient material as though they recognized each other. Maya assembled the team, distributing the limited weapons and equipment they'd brought. Eliza, you focus on identifying the weapon's biological components. Tarek, map our route so we can find our way back. Marcus, you're on security. Zara, try to understand their systems, but no more direct neural interfacing without my approval. She turned to Xyrock. You should stay with the ship. The Solarian diplomat's exoskeleton darkened with emotion. My people are dying, Commander. I will see this through personally. Maya couldn't argue with his determination. Stay close. They stepped through the airlock into the ancient facility. The interior was unlike any structure Maya had encountered in her extensive career. Organic and mechanical elements blended so seamlessly, it was impossible to determine where one ended and the other began. The corridors seemed to pulse with subtle light, responding to their presence. It's scanning us, Eliza murmured, watching patterns of light flow across the walls. Analyzing our genetic makeup. Is that dangerous? Marcus asked, his weapon raised. I don't think so. It feels more curious than hostile. They followed corridors that seemed to open before them, guiding their path deep into the structure. Maya couldn't shake the feeling that the facility itself was conscious, evaluating their every move and reaction. After traversing what felt like kilometers of winding passages, they entered a vast chamber. At its center stood a crystalline structure that pulsed with energy, waves of light radiating outward in precise mathematical patterns. That's it, Xyrock whispered, his exoskeleton vibrating with emotion. The source of the signal killing my people. Eliza approached the structure cautiously, scanners in hand. It's incredible. This device isn't just targeting Solarian DNA. It's targeting specific portions of their genetic code that evolved after the Ancients' time. What does that mean? Maya asked. It means this weapon wasn't designed to kill Solarians specifically, Eliza explained. It was designed to eliminate genetic deviations from an original template. The Solarians are being affected because their evolution diverged from what the Ancients considered acceptable. Xyrock's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of distress. My ancestors were bioengineered by the Ancients. Our legends speak of being uplifted from primitive forms. This weapon, it is rejecting what we have become. As they examined the crystal structure, Zara moved to what appeared to be a control interface. There's a system here. I can access it. But, she hesitated. It's asking for authorization. What kind of authorization? Maya demanded. Genetic. And, Zara looked up, her expression troubled. Ethical. It wants to know why we seek to disable it. A holographic display activated above the control panel, showing symbols that shifted and changed. Xyrock stepped forward, studying the patterns. These are similar to our most ancient writings, he said. I can partially translate. This device was created to preserve purity, to prevent unauthorized genetic divergence. A genetic failsafe, Eliza realized. The Ancients were controlling evolution itself. Maya approached the interface. Can we communicate with it? Make it understand that the Solarians aren't a threat? Zara nodded slowly. I think so. But it will require direct neural linking again. And someone to serve as the ethical representative. Someone whose intentions it can scan. I'll do it, Maya said without hesitation. Marcus stepped forward. Commander, with respect, we don't know what this technology might do to a human mind. It's not your decision, Marcus. Maya turned to Zara. Set it up. As Zara prepared the connection, Maya felt a familiar calm settle over her. The same clarity that had guided her through countless missions where the odds seemed impossible. This was why Xyrock had sought her out. Not because she owed him a debt, but because humans possessed something unique. The willingness to risk everything for principles they believed in. Ready, Zara announced, offering Maya a neural interface adapter. Maya placed it against her temple, feeling the cold metal bond with her skin. What do I do? Focus on why we're here, Zara instructed. The system will evaluate your intentions, your honesty, your ethical framework. Don't try to hide anything that would be interpreted as deception. Maya nodded, closing her eyes as the connection activated. Immediately, her consciousness expanded, touching something vast and alien. It felt ancient beyond comprehension, yet somehow vibrant with purpose. Images flooded her mind. Civilizations rising and falling, genetic templates being refined over millennia, the careful cultivation of sentient species across the galaxy. The presence examined her memories, her decisions, her regrets. It lingered on the choices that had led to her exile, her refusal to follow orders that would have resulted in civilian casualties. It studied her current mission, the debt she owed Sirach, and the deeper reasons she had accepted this impossible task. A question formed in her mind, not in words, but in pure concept. Why interfere with the designed purpose? Maya responded with memories. The diversity of human cultures, the strength that came from adaptation and change, the beauty of unplanned evolution. She showed the ancient consciousness how unexpected mutations had led to new forms of art, science, and understanding, how imperfection itself could be valuable. The presence considered this perspective, comparing it against Hyun's of programmed purpose. Maya sensed reluctance, then curiosity, then something like recognition. The weapon had been created in an age when control was paramount, when deviation represented existential risk. But the galaxy had changed. The threats the ancients had feared were long gone. A decision crystallized in the vast consciousness. The weapon would deactivate, but with conditions. The Solarians would be granted a reprieve, but would carry within them a marker, a genetic signature that would forever identify them as children of the ancients, a living legacy of a civilization long vanished. Maya accepted these terms, feeling the connection begin to fade. As her consciousness returned to her body, she saw the crystal structure at the center of the chamber changing, its pulsing energy shifting from destructive patterns to something new, a signal that would heal rather than harm, restoring what had been damaged. She removed the neural adapter, blinking as the chamber came back into focus. "It's done," she said quietly. "The weapon is being reprogrammed. It will send out a counter-signal that should reverse the damage to your people." Sirach's exoskeleton shimmered with emotion. "Commander Chen, Maya, there are no words in any language to express what you have done for us. Don't thank me yet," Maya cautioned. "There's a condition. Your people will carry a genetic marker, a signature that identifies you as descendants of the ancients. This is acceptable," Sirach said without hesitation. "It is, in fact, an honor to be recognized as their legacy." As the crystal structure completed its transformation, a new pathway opened in the chamber wall. Beyond it lay what appeared to be a repository of knowledge, holographic displays showing technologies far beyond current understanding. "The ancients are offering us access to their knowledge," Zara breathed, her eyes wide with wonder. "Not just deactivating the weapon. They are sharing their legacy." Maya understood the significance. The ancient consciousness hadn't just evaluated her. It had judged all of them as representatives of their species, and it had found them worthy. "We should take what we can," Marcus suggested, his military pragmatism reasserting itself. This technology could revolutionize human capabilities. "No," Maya said firmly. "We came to save the Solarians, not to plunder advanced technology. We take only what's freely offered, and only what we understand." Her team nodded in agreement. Even Marcus, who had once been the most dedicated to Earth Command's objectives, recognized the wisdom in her caution. As they prepared to depart, Sirach approached Maya. "What will you do now, Commander? Return to your exile." Maya looked around at the team she had assembled, outcasts and misfits who had accomplished what the combined might of the Galactic Concord had deemed impossible. "No," she decided. "I think my exile has served its purpose. There are other ancient weapons out there, other technologies too dangerous to be left unattended. Someone needs to find them, understand them, ensure they don't threaten innocent lives." "A noble purpose," Sirach observed, "and one uniquely suited to your talents." As they boarded the ship and departed the ancient facility, Maya watched the dead zone's distorted space through the view screen. The drone interceptors escorted them to the boundary, then broke formation in what almost seemed like a salute. Beyond the dead zone lay a galaxy that had written off the Solarians, that had exiled Maya. that had discarded the talents of her makeshift crew. A galaxy that would soon learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't its technology or military might, but its stubborn refusal to accept impossibility. Maya Chen smiled for the first time in years. "Set course for Solarian space," she ordered. "We have news to deliver." And afterward, the galaxy was vast, filled with ancient mysteries and emerging threats. For a team that specialized in the impossible, there would never be a shortage of missions. The debt had been repaid, but something new had been born in its place, a purpose that transcended personal obligation. A reminder that when the odds seemed insurmountable, when civilized powers turned away, humanity could still accomplish the impossible, not just because they could, but because they must.